we did the video, I kind of like felt like I kind of was like,
And I was just like, Jamel, you want to do a video?
he's like, yeah, be ready. So I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely ready. Right quick, I just want to show everybody, go get this. This is the book.
So what made you title the book "Can I Do This"? I was curious about that when I first saw it. I remember was that the recorder, the little
black one, the black plastic one. So I played the flute. But I'm doing well, man.
Yeah.
I think last time when we did the video, I kind of like felt like I kind of was like stuck because it was lack of sleep the night before, and I still had a longer day to go. So now I feel more comfortable. I went to the gym. I'm at ease. No anxiety or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's good. You gotta hit the gym in the morning. You know, get the blood flowing.
Yes.
Get in a creative mindset.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, I think I did catch you off guard the last time we spoke. It was at the first annual Peer Summit up in Hagerstown. And I was just like, Jamel, you want to do a video?
He's like, yeah, be ready. So I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely ready. Right quick, I just want to show everybody, go get this. This is the book, and Mr. Lorenzo, he will post a link to it for all y'all that can see what it is.
Can I do this?
Yes, sir.
So what made you title the book "Can I Do This"? I was curious about that when I first saw it.
I think just like really just because of what I've been through in life, and you know, like even like let's take it back for a moment. Even like when we were kids, when we were children, and I always wondered, could I do a lot of things?
Right.
You know, and then I looked and see what other children had. I looked and see what, you know, whether, you know, they had both parents there, like, you know, or just like being there at like, you know, music recitals. Cause I played the flute too when I was in.
I remember those. Was that the recorder, the little
black one, the black plastic one. So I played the flute, basketball, football, and my dad was always on deployment. So my mother, she always would. She was always there at the games, man. That's, you know, that's one thing I appreciated. She was always there at my game.
That's right. Yeah. What branch was he in? Navy.
Yeah, it was a Master Chief. Him and my mom, they had me when they were 17. And my dad wanted a better life. Plus, he wanted to get out of New Jersey. And, you know, he didn't want me to stay there. He didn't want to raise his family there because the part of New Jersey I'm from is not the best part.
Right.
You know, and
you want to tell him what part of Jersey you're from?
Newark.
Oh, shout out to Newark.
Newark. Hashtag Brick City. So, but yeah, I loved it. And I remember like when we moved to like Chesapeake, Virginia, man. Well, Norfolk first. Big ups to Norfolk 757. You know, got my peoples out there.
You gotta do the shout out, right?
Yeah, I gotta give them the shout out, man.
Yeah.
Because they actually, Virginia Beach, the whole 757, they're part of my story as well. I grew up mostly out there as well, but you know, back and forth between Jersey and then Virginia. I mean, I love New Jersey, man. I still love going back. Would I raise a family there?
Right.
No.
Right.
But
I had a friend that was he was from Richmond, Virginia when I was growing up on the Eastern Shore, and we went down and visited him, and it was different. It was different. That neighborhood he lived in, it was definitely, you can tell it was a lot going on around there. Yeah. But before you get into your story and everything, I was asking what made you come up with the title and everything like that.
Yeah, again, just to back up, I mean, I've always asked myself, can I do it? There was multiple things, even just as a teen and then even growing up. I mean, think about it. I mean, me and you, we would just sit up here rapping and talking about like you starting your business. You probably asked yourself that question, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you was like, all right, well, what can I lose? You know, can I do this?
That's a good title. I like that.
You know?
I like that, yeah.
And because I do get a lot of responses, like people like, you can do this. Yeah, but initially, the process is first, can I do this? Just like when I'm in school for social work, can I do this?
Right.
You know?
I think Barack Obama said, yes, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. And it's just, but you definitely, you got to get it in, just in recovery. You know, I got 3 years and 100-something days in recovery. And I asked myself, can I do this? You know, before my car accident, even when I sat there and I asked, you know, talking to the God of my understanding, I asked, can I do this? Can I stop drinking?
Right.
Can I stop a lot of, stop a lot of the negative behaviors that I had? And ultimately on my own, I couldn't.
Right.
Because I've struggled with this health-wide issue, this worldwide health issue for over 15 years, man. You know? And I'm still amazed now at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's a help like brothers like you and other sisters and brothers and my therapist, my psychiatrist, and just talking, because like again, like I feel like we all ask ourselves a lot of things, and it doesn't have to be in recovery.
Right.
It can be in the professional world. It can be a relationship with your spouse or whatever. We always asking ourselves, can we do something?
Right.
But that's what keeps us bounded. That's what keeps us from seeking our greatness.
Taking action.
You know, taking action. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, thanks for answering that question. That was a great answer. So you want to go back a little bit farther, back to how we met? You remember when we first met?
I'm thinking, was it the gala?
No, it was before the gala. The gala was a nice.
No. Was it at the? No, it was at the kickball tournament.
The kickball tournament.
The National Recovery Kickball Tournament. Yep.
It was National Recovery Month 2022 at Baker Park, and the health department put on a National Recovery Month event. Yep. It was split up into 2 days, and I think was it the first day or the second day that was the kickball game?
No, it was the first when I first came out there.
I think it was. I think the kickball game was the. I'm not sure which one it was, but one day was the kickball game and one day was the event. But you were on the team. You were on the team for On Our Own, right?
Yeah.
I was refereeing for the health department out there. Jamel was on our own team. Y'all did good too.
I know. I was mad. I wanted that trophy, man.
Yeah.
I was looking at the glistening of that trophy, the gold on it. I was like, man, I want this.
I think the final 2 teams was like the police department and
it was one treatment center, because those boys came out there, man.
Was it solid ground? Was it up and out? It was somebody.
I don't know, but those boys were serious.
Yeah, they won. They ended up winning it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they ended up winning. They beat the police department.
Wow.
You know they was hyping. Yeah,
I know they were. They kicked our behinds. I know that.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this year, 2023 National Recovery Month event. I'm going to be the coach for the team for the peers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you say you're going to play.
I thought you said you didn't want to coach no more, though.
No, that was referee. I don't want to referee no more. I do not want to do that, but I will coach the team. I'm recruiting peer recovery specialists and recovery coaches to be on our team.
Okay.
I think I got a few already, so looking forward to that. That'll be fun. But yeah, man. So let's get into about you, more about you. So we got the reason why you titled your book, Can I Do This? We got where you're from. You gave us a little backstory about your parents and coming up and things like that. So could you just hit a little bit more on, like, I guess, early childhood, maybe when you started to become like a teenager and things like that, like how things were,
I mean, it was...
What type of kid you were, like, things you did.
It was just really just to take it back. I mean, I lived in Norfolk. And it's so much. It's so much. But just, I grew up, it was all of us, the American dream. You know, the
Got
mom.
brothers and sisters.
Yep, I got one brother, one younger brother, and one younger sister.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but no. So just to answer your question, my growing up, it was just like you know, my mom tried not to so much like let us know like what was going on in the house financially, you know, and everything like that. My dad, he was, you know, heavily involved in his career and everything like that, and
With the Navy, right?
with the Navy, you know, and he, you know, he didn't. My mom, you know, like I just found a lot of, you know, some of the stuff that my mother told me. He never used to drink until he went in, you know, drink alcohol.
Okay.
But then that's when I started to see that side of which I did not like about him. But then also me and my dad, we wasn't tight either, you know. I feel like he was more tight with my sister than he was with me.
Okay.
And wasn't no jealousy behind it. It was just like, man, like when I'm not good enough or something, or you know, like why you can't connect with me. You
that
know
was a baby sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the babies always get the most attention.
Well, she wasn't the baby, but she was like the only girl.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, she was a daddy's girl.
Yeah. He always called them Kia beans. So, but no, like, you know, and it's just like, we just never was really that tight. And just, you know, just growing up, I mean, I would always see on television, like I even remember when I told myself, like, man, when I turn sweet 16, man, I want that car. I want to come outside, have a ribbon on the car. And then
man.
you know, like you just watch.
That nice, right?
Yeah. So there's just, you know, my mom's side was very tight. Very tight. My dad's side was not so much like that, you know? And it's just like a lot of things were just, growing up was a lot of things were missed. It wasn't like, you know what I mean?
Did y'all travel a lot as a military family?
No, we didn't. I mean, we went from Jersey we went to Virginia.
That wasn't like base hopping, like.
Nope, no. I mean, we had a Willoughby Spit is where we lived at. That's in Norfolk. As you know, Norfolk is the largest naval base on the peninsula.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that,
Yeah. I mean, you got Langley Air Force Base. You got a base out there in Oceana that's in Virginia Beach. Yeah, you got a lot of spots, man. But
what do they call that area right there with Norfolk and like? I mean, like it's like the 5 cities or something like that. The 5.
It's called the 7 cities.
The 7 cities, yeah, the 7 cities. I'm reading about that in the book.
Yeah, it's Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Suffolk. Yeah, it's all that. Yeah. So that's why when I say 7 cities, some people up here, people don't know what I'm talking. You know, I was like, oh, y'all going to the 7? They're like, what? No, we going to Virginia Beach. I was like, oh yeah, that's considered one of the 7 cities.
Yeah.
Or they say the 757. That's how you notice I still have my 757 number.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I was reading it. I was locked up. It was like some urban novel or something like that. And they were talking about the 7 cities.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody down there was getting money, you know, reading urban novels and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was cool how they had that name for it. You know, we got the DMV up here.
Yeah.
And, And they got the tri-state a little bit further up north.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so okay, so Norfolk. Did you play any sports or anything like that?
Yeah, man, I played basketball, played football. I tried to play baseball. My dad tried to get me into that, man. I just wasn't into it.
Right.
I was always scared I was gonna get hit with that ball, man.
Baseball is one of those things that like I never really paid attention to or like did or anything like that. But I always be like, I want to go see a baseball game just to do something different. Go down to what's it called in Baltimore? Camden Yards. I think that's what it's called.
I did go to a baseball game in Virginia, Tidewater Ties.
Tidewater Ties.
Yeah, I have been to a baseball game.
Just go see what that's like, you know. Trying to see what that be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only thing I can really remember about is like a bunch of cats just getting drunk, getting loud, and just like yelling at the umpire or just a bad call. Or that's the only thing I really remember from it. I don't know. It really didn't intrigue me.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Not like basketball, and I was only lefty too. So
I'm
a lefty.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, but nah, man, I loved it. I could have played. I think I could have probably went very far with football. I remember when I was in high school, Coach Parker, when I was at Indian River High School, he tried to get me to go out for football because he would see, like, you know, PE. You know, remember PE, right?
Gym.
Yeah, Jim. We call it PE. Yep.
Physical education.
Physical education. Yep. and he would see us playing during PE. He'll see us out there throwing a football. He'll see how fast I run, I could catch.
Mhm.
And he's like, man, you ever thought about coming out for the football team? But then at that time, man, I was smoking weed in high school. And, I mean, it just wasn't my focus. And, focus on the girls,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So did you ever play football though, for like on the team?
Yeah, I did. I played for the Rec.
What position?
I played corner.
Cornerback. Oh man, I had a homeboy that played cornerback. Andre Watson for the Cherry Hill Cougars. We played in middle school. I played in middle school. I played strong side linebacker.
Oh yeah, were you nice?
I was nice. We went to championships.
So you like Lawrence Taylor?
I went to All Stars and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but shortly after that, I got involved with the streets and stopped playing and everything like that. But I did play for a little while.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you played sports. You was down there. All right. So when did you start? I know you mentioned you were smoking weed in high school. When did you start dabbling with like drugs and alcohol?
I want to say, I think I was in my last year. I would say about 10th and 11th grade. And it could have probably even been earlier than that, to be honest with you. Yeah.
10th, 11th grade was just like smoking weed and things like that.
Yeah, smoking weed, like stuff like that. And maybe pop some mushrooms. I'll never do that again.
Oh man!
But that was like I was out of high school then when I did that. Yeah.
Mushrooms are legal now in DC.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean they say that like medicinal purposes and things like that. But I remember for me, I know I started like back in like 7th grade, I think. I want to say smoking weed and things like that. I started working when I was 14. I got my first job at an Acme grocery store pushing carts, right?
14?
Yeah, if you was 14 back then, you could work with a permit.
Yeah, see, in Virginia was different. Because you got to think, I came from, that was Commonwealth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to wait till I was like 15 and 8 months. Because my first job was at Farm Fresh.
Yeah.
I was a cart boy.
Yeah, carts too?
Yeah, I did carts, and then from carts, I went to the cashier. From cashier, then I worked at Wendy's, then I worked at McDonald's.
The whole fast food thing, I remember that, but so it was interesting, like my first job. So I worked at the Acme grocery store pushing carts, but we lived in Elkton, Maryland, so that's in Maryland, but like that's on the Delaware line. So right across the Delaware line is Newark, Delaware. So that's where the University of Delaware is. So I worked at the Acme in Newark, Delaware, right across the line. So I had to get a worker's permit from the high school in Newark, Delaware, and I wanted to go over there and work. But the thing was, I was young, I was 14, and I was working with the college students at the Acme. So they were like, I would come to work smelling like weed and things like that. They'd be like, any Adderall? I was like, no, I'm gonna Adderall, not like that. But I had weed, so like I would start like selling weed or whatever. But and my homeboy, he had pills or whatever. So I started early on with all of that. But by the time I was in high school, I was all like crashed out all the way. So yeah, so. But,
I mean, I've seen it, but I think I was just more like, cause I remember like even some of like my high school friends, like they were doing their thing and everything like that. But I just wasn't. I was curious, but then like compare. Let's think of like, and I'm gonna kind of like jump back and forth, but like you think of it like now, but then compose it back then. Like we still like now. I feel like the new generation that's coming up, like, and everything like that, like it did, no spiritual guidance. You know what I mean? No, like, not scared of nothing. Compared to like when I was younger, I wasn't as scared, but I was curious.
Yeah.
I was scared but curious, and I was more like, man, I ain't trying to get caught, man. My dad would tear my behind up and all like that. But then
it's like they don't have that now, do they? It's like it's just that part is missing. They don't have no fear.
None.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they see it's so much exposure with social media,
in which we didn't have that.
We didn't have that.
No.
We didn't have that. So and like movies and television. We have movies and television and things, but the social media stuff is just like it took everything to a new level. And then like the household, we used to have like the grandparents in the house, church every Sunday. people doing a week.
So it's that level of discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
But then it was still that level of curiosity and then wondering.
Can I do this? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're right.
So I mean,
right.
That's a broad. I wanted a broad top. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just narrow.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So so yeah, man. It's just like when, like I said, in high school, and I did my thing, man. I did my,
That's usually how it starts off. That's what weed. That's like they call it the gateway.
Yeah, the gateway. Yeah.
So like, did you graduate high school after that?
Yeah, I ended up. I mean, I got kicked out. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Like my mom, she just said, "Look, you can't live here. You can't."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's my little brother, and my sister was there. My sister and my little brother, and then like I couldn't. So I had to end up. I graduated, but I ended up graduating later.
Yeah.
Within the same year, I just didn't get to walk with my class.
Right.
So I graduated in summer school. But I did graduate. I did get my diploma because I missed too many days.
Oh man. Yeah.
So if you miss too many days back then, like that just automatically disqualifies you.
Right.
So I had to go to school. I had to do history. And you know what the crazy thing was? I didn't even pass. I remember
summer school. You didn't pass summer school.
And the teacher, she said, "Look, I see you trying." She said, "I'm gonna go."
I see you trying.
She said, "I'm gonna go ahead and give you a C."
You get an A for effort, huh?
Yeah.
See, that's good. I mean,
She gave me the C,
she passed,
and that let me pass.
Yeah.
Because when she sat me down and called me, because I needed that to graduate.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me.
She had a soft spot in the heart for you.
Yeah, man. And it's just like right now, when people see, and it's even like now to this day, like if people see you trying, striving, I hate to say trying, they see you striving,
right?
People gonna help.
I noticed that. I do notice that. That is true.
Yeah.
Not everybody gonna help, of course, not. But it's gonna be somebody that's got their eye on you, and they're gonna be like, you know what? I like what you're doing. I like your style. I like how you're doing it. I like your motivation, and let me just go ahead and help you out. So,
it's kind of like what they teach us in the program: suit up and show up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's better than not showing up at all.
Exactly.
So,
and that's unfortunately that's what most people do. They just don't even show up. So just showing up is like 50% of the battle.
Yeah.
Probably even more than that.
Yeah.
So you graduated high school. So what happened after high school? Like, what did that look like for you?
Man, so that's when my dad committed suicide, and I had my first son, and of course, like,
all in the same year?
What?
Your dad committed suicide, and you had your son in the same year? Oh man.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
Like 21.
21.
21, 22, something like that.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's certain things like, and because of from my car accident, certain things I remember, certain things I don't. Certain things I honestly try not to remember for it.
You had a car accident?
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, 2019. That was when I got my last DUI. 25 fractured bones in my face and 3 facial surgeries. My whole bottom jaw was dislocated from my face. I have 4 plates right here. I broke all this. So like I can rub like this. This is skin. When I rub like this, it feels like I'm rubbing on my flesh.
What happened with the car accident? Like, how'd that happen?
I was drunk, man. I'm be honest, I don't remember a lot of it.
Oh, you was drunk.
Yeah, I don't. But that wasn't like my wake up call.
Yeah.
Like really wake up call.
Oh yeah.
Because everything I went through up until that point, like you would have thought that would have been my rock bottom.
Right.
But it wasn't. I thought it was. From incarceration, from smacks on the wrist, multiple chances, to somebody outside looking in on my story and what I was going through. It's easy to sit up there and say, man, you had enough? Is that enough for you?
Yeah,
but to me, it wasn't.
Yeah, you never know what a person.
But then also too, I wasn't addressing why I was drinking. I wasn't addressing the feelings, the disappointments, the resentments, everything because I honestly, I mean, I drink because I didn't want to feel.
Right. And but you didn't know that. You had to learn that.
I had to learn that.
It's so crazy how much things can change once you learn why you're doing the things that you're doing. Like going through treatment and like talking to the counselors there and like the therapist and everything, and how they break it down for you. Like, you're not just drinking because you just want to drink. You're not just doing drugs because you just want to do drugs. There's a deeply rooted reason behind that. And once you start to, spread light on the reasons behind what you're doing, it just makes everything different. It changes the game changer.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, and that's what I come to understanding as I'm like getting deeper into school, getting a better understanding the education and everything. Like I realized, like, man, this is what Tranquility Woods did with me. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
And as they call it, in the professional world, the healthcare professional world, they call it co-occurring disorders, or they call it dual diagnosis.
Yeah.
Addressing both of them, the mental health and the substance abuse side.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, man, that is actually what I'm doing.
Is that, you said Tranquility Woods? That's where you went?
Yeah, Tranquility Woods in Pasadena, Maryland.
Oh, all right.
Actually, that's the first place.
That's
first place I learned what to ride a horse.
Oh, they had horses there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was a city boy from Jersey, man. We would ride horses. So what I did, man, I learned how to ride a horse, man. We had a jacuzzi. We had a chef.
Oh, that must have been private insurance.
We had a chef. Man, I ain't eat the same thing twice.
Gosh.
But it was, past all that, man, we had a sauna. The sauna was right by my room, down in the basement. We had a gym.
How long was it?
It's like 30. It was initially 28, but I did like 30 days.
I would have stayed extra too.
Yeah, I mean, but it definitely was a blessing, and that's where I wrote my book at, man. I asked me what inspired me to write that. I didn't even get acupuncture. Wow. I do recommend doing acupuncture, man. That's a whole different level within itself, a whole different experience.
Is it really?
Yeah, like seriously.
I look at it and I'll be like, I don't think it'll really do nothing. It doesn't look like it is.
Because I know you just got the book, but just read it, and there's a chapter in there it's called Slaying the Dragon.
Okay.
That was based off of acupuncture.
Yeah, it's that powerful.
And one thing you'll learn about me, Lorenzo, I would never recommend or suggest anything to anybody if I'm not doing it.
I hear that.
Or if I even tried it. I'm telling you to do it.
Acupuncture.
I'm telling you.
Next time I go get a massage, I'm gonna ask that acupuncture.
Yeah, do the acupuncture, and then because like he would do it collectively when we were all in the rehab, but then he did it. We could ask for special sessions, and that special sessions is when he got really deep. Like we would address whatever issue. Like this guy, his name was Jonathan. I have his card back home, but man, I'm actually gonna reach out to him and do it again right before I start this new book.
Wow, wait, so hold on. So hold on. So all right, so you're laying in the bed, right, for the acupuncture, right? They started putting the needles in your back or whatever, and then they're talking to you.
It's not just the back, it's just depending on what it unlocks different things. Like I know you put one on the top of my head and it unlocked, I forgot what it's called, man.
But then he talks to you and actually has a therapy session at the same time? Oh, man.
And I was sitting there and I was crying.
What?
Man, I was addressing stuff with my dad.
Wow.
Like deep stuff. Like stuff I thought that I didn't even know I was holding on to.
Yeah.
And just like, and I still find myself, still to this day, I mean, I guess it's still, you'd be surprised how much still stuff in you that is still not addressed. And you can be 50 something, 60, it doesn't matter.
Deeply buried.
Skeletons
in the closet.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
That's just like when you even want relationships, man, and even friendships, man, communication. You don't know what somebody else went through. You don't know what trauma and stigma they got. And I think that's why some of our recovery brothers and sisters are people who just even need therapy. Like they just, the trauma, the stigma that's associated with it.
Right. A lot of people stay away from it because of that, which is unfortunate because it's a game changer. It really helps. It changed my life.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I mean, change yours, change. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I didn't even think you was in recovery myself. Like to be honest with you, I mean, when I first met you at that at that kickball, I was like, all right, this professional brother right here got a real estate and you doing this thing. And you see, and that's the thing. You never know what somebody else has gone through.
Right. And I'm surprised when I hear people say that because in my mind, I'm still the same old me. So it's like when people be like, people find out about my past and things like that, they're like, I would have never guessed that. I'm sitting there like, I thought you knew this the whole time and you were like judging me off of it because I feel like that's me still on the inside. But to the regular eye, I just look like a regular person, I guess. I probably don't like a regular person. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
So yeah, but it's crazy. It is crazy. But back to the story because I'm going to continue with the timeline. So we went from childhood, we went to high school, we went to after you graduated. That's when your father passed away and you had your first son. So what about like your 20s? How was your 20s?
It's reckless, man. I didn't care.
That's what the
I had my
addiction was
good,
rampant.
Yeah, that's when like, you know, my other two daughters, they came and I was just reckless. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was so stuck in my own world and just surviving.
I know exactly what you mean.
I kept a job, went to school, but I was just doing reckless stuff.
Like college, you went to college?
Yeah, went to college. I changed my major like 4 times.
I was about to ask you.
I did business administration.
That's what I'm doing now.
I did architecture.
Wow.
I did CAD.
I did that.
Computer aided drafting.
Yeah.
And I did nanotechnology.
Wow. What is that? I never heard of that. Nanotechnology.
Yeah, that's what it's like up there with radiology.
Oh, all right, like medical field.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I took all the way up to anatomy too.
Wow.
Did a lot, man.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. I love the architect. I just like buildings. I like the exotic things. I don't know. I was just into that. But then when it's a lot of math, and then it was a lot of like commands, which doing with computer aided drafting is a lot of commands you got to remember. And I was like, man, I can't do this. And then just being in a classroom setting, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's just like my personality won't let me just sit in a cubicle for so long if I'm not really having a lot of interaction with people.
Yeah. So, and then at the same time you were still in the streets and things like that. So I did the same thing when I was in my 20s, and it was like trying to have one foot in, one foot out. Like I'm trying to go to college. You know how many times I've been to college? Like I'm kind of like you. I've been to college like 3 or 4 times, and this is like since I've been in recovery, it's the only time I actually completed a semester. Wow. And I've been out like 3 or 4 times. Never.
Likewise.
I always got
likewise.
I always got into something.
Yep. Likewise.
But now like.
And staying consistent, because since I've gotten out of rehab, I got out of rehab in January of 2020, and I've been going to school since.
It's amazing, ain't it? It's amazing.
And I'm about to graduate like next year. It's
amazing what recovery can do. Look at God. Look at God.
But God, right? But God.
Yeah, so, man. It's crazy.
And it's like, but that's the thing though, like, and now that I'm seeing it now, and not even to get so spiritual on it, but that's the thing though. He did his greatest work. He did and still is on the people society looks down upon.
Yes. It talks about that a lot in the Bible. It does.
Think about a Samson who, was addicted to women and everything like that, and Saul, who used to actually kill people, and I never killed anybody.
I first read the story of Saul, Paul in the Bible when I was locked up, and I was like, this was in the Bible the whole time, because I went to church growing up and everything, but then I was like, that's me. That's me right there. And then the transformation and how he went to go on to lead people. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. It's just I actually got a chance to open up the Bible and read about that. I actually sat and read. I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but I read a large portion.
You read what was needed.
Pretty much, yeah.
You read what was needed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
it was like everything I was reading, it was like, this is my life. and then I used to pray. I used to say, I'm not gonna get really religious or anything like that, but I saw when I read the story about how God delivered them out of their Egypt, out of the Egypt, He delivered His people out of Egypt because His people were in bondage in Egypt. And I would just pray. I would say, God, please deliver me out of my Egypt because I'm in Egypt right now. I'm in Egypt right now. I'm in the trenches of Egypt right now. I'm like, please look. And I think the church that I was going to in prison was it was called Agape Ministries, but they always spoke about delivering the people from Egypt, and they always spoke about Paul and Saul. And they answered my prayer.
And he's still doing things, bro. And
He
he ain't done. And he ain't even. That's the thing. He ain't even done with you yet. I mean, look at what he did. He connected us on like so many levels. You done poured in my cup and just like enriched me and showed me something else. And here it is, we together for the ultimate good to inspire others.
Serve and give back.
And give back to the community in Frederick and worldwide. And just let people know, like, if I can do this, so can you. But the initial question is, can I do this? Yeah, you can. But I started out like you made it started out. Can I do this?
That's a fact.
Can I read something on the back of this right quick? Can I read something on the back of it? So, this is pretty much a little bit of like, man, it took me a month just to write this.
So like
2 paragraphs.
Is that like when you write that, that's separate from the book, right? Like you just
it just ultimately it gives like a overview of me personally, but then also the inspiration of why I wrote this. And then I had a friend of mine, she's in recovery. I had her read the book and just write and be totally blunt and honest what this meant to her. Right. And that's what what you'll be.
Okay.
So it's basically this is where I was at. If this sums up everything.
Right.
The echoes of voices and pain from the past made it feel impossible to shut out the noise. Fighting through suppressed trauma and the struggles of low self-esteem. Jamel was striving to find acceptance and a place to fit in. Turning to easy access, escape, and coping, he came to that endless sea of hopelessness. The shadows of all he had once longed for seemed so out of reach. All he could do was ask the question, can I do this?
Wow. She did that. She put that together.
Yeah, well, that's my part. She did the middle part. But this one right here, and the friend, she helped me like, I said it, she just helped me like edit it a little bit.
Oh, that was what you wrote that you just read. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Oh, man. Well, you know how to push that pen pretty well, don't you?
I'm pretty, but honestly,
yeah.
You're not gonna believe acupuncture.
Nah.
You gotta look. It's something. It's called something lobe. LOBE. It's up here. So when they put that, when he put that pin, when he put that pin up there, man, it unlocked something.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, because I hear this a lot. Everybody's, you a writer? This is God's plan, not mine. I never thought. Man, I wrote girls' poems in school. Do you like me? Yes or no? Roses are red, violets are blue.
Roses are red.
You are so cute. You are so cute. Can I get with you?
Yeah, that was about it, though.
That was about it. I mean,
wow.
I remember one time I wrote a little we would write like little short stories.
Yeah.
When I was in like intermediate,
mm-hmm.
Wrote little stuff like that. I think I wrote about I was a drag car racer. Yeah. It was bad. All I can remember at the end, I wrote, I was going so fast and boom, I ran into the wall. Boom, I was dead.
Oh my God, that's pretty dark. That's pretty dark,
bro. That's where I was at.
Yeah.
That's where I was at. But no, man, it's just one day I would get up every morning because the chef would come in at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
and start making breakfast before everybody got up. And I would get up in the morning, get my thing, because it was quiet. So I would go right there to the kitchen table this was at Tranquility Woods, and I would sit down, have my coffee, and then I'll sit there and I'll do my, have my little intimate time with the man upstairs, and I would just write.
Wow.
Well, first, do my daily devotions, and I would just write.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I don't know, something just clicked, bro. And I wrote that book, 12,076 words in 30-something days in a composition book. I still got my book in the crib.
See, it seems like God must have been God in your hand.
He was. And just like this new one I got right now, it's called The Transition. And I know you're going to be able to relate with this. A lot of people is, because as you being in recovery, you do go through transitions.
What is this? This is your new book?
Yeah, it's going to be
it's called Transition.
Yeah, the Transition.
The Transition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we go through a lot. It's going to be. He's putting it on my heart to make it relatable to everybody, not just those in recovery, but just everybody.
Right.
Because we all in a transition.
Right.
We all been through a transition just through COVID and just through recovery.
Like definitely has many transitions.
Yeah, it's gonna be thickening this. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous on writing it.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna bring up a lot of emotions, man.
Have you started it yet?
Yeah, I started putting some things together, some journaling, and actually I'm taking a couple of journals that I actually had to do for a class, which was last semester, and I saved those journals.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a lot of those journals and implement it and put it in my book.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, that's going to be good.
I just feel it's just good, and it's just you'll probably notice I always, like, when I do certain posts, I always says hashtag just keeping it real, just keeping it 100, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm one of those ones. Don't sugarcoat me. Just be honest.
Give it to me raw.
Just give it to me raw.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hurt, because you hurt my feelings if you lied to me.
Yeah.
If you don't keep it real with me, because then it means like intelligent enough, or I can't comprehend, or I can't take it, or I'm not man enough to take what you're saying.
Right.
That's just me.
Right.
Not saying everybody else is like that. And that's why I was just totally transparent in that book. About everything. The visit with my mom, and she doesn't drink, she doesn't, but her father was an alcoholic, and a couple of her family members, they drink too as well, but my mom was never like that. But my mom's my hero. Yeah, she done dealt with my mess so long, on top of my dad and other, family members and everything like that. But she never turned her back on me. She just prayed for me. You know what I mean?
I was always in the corner. That's what's up, man. Good to have a good support system like that.
Yeah.
But so you talked about before you went into treatment, right? That car accident was before you went into treatment. And did you go into treatment right after the car accident?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the day, yeah.
Okay, so you go through treatment, you write the book, fresh out of treatment. Now what's next? Happened next?
So to be honest with you, I actually got out on the 21st, January 21st of 2020.
Is that your sobriety date?
No, it was the 27th. I relapsed.
After you came home? Okay.
That was, and I was like, what are you doing? A friend of mine came up here from Virginia and seen me. And, and I don't blame it on him. I knew what I was doing. Like, he put a gun in my hand and said, drink this or whatever. And like an idiot. But I did do like what was suggested from the treatment center and the counselors I had. I did enroll in IOP and everything like that, which is right up the street.
In Frederick?
Yep.
They sent you from Pasadena out here?
Okay. Well, I still had my place.
In Frederick?
Yeah, because they wanted me to go to a sober house a sober house. I call it a halfway house. Yeah. That's just, but I was like, man, I'm not giving up my spot.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Especially around here, it's already hard enough to get a place.
Yeah, and plus I live right downtown, so I love where I'm at. So, but I did do the IOP, and there's one brother that was in there. He came open and honest when he relapsed, and I said, all right, man, I got something to tell y'all.
Yeah.
And it pushed me to open up. But then now I know what they mean when they say you only sick as your secrets.
Yeah.
And when that's also another thing I noticed too is your conscience is a mother, man.
It is.
Your conscience will eat you alive.
What?
You know, compare say if you want to retaliate and do something to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
their conscience will mess them up more than you retaliate. You know, so say if somebody did you wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say if I did you wrong or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you wanted to retaliate, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
My conscience will mess me up more.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't hit them immediately,
It's gonna
down the
eat
line, they're gonna be
as long as they're not they're not blind, as long as they're not clouded with alcohol and drugs and everything like that. But then even somebody who just, because I believe everybody got emotions, everybody got sympathy and empathy, everybody's got a heart. But your conscience, man, it'll eat you.
Yeah, that's what I say. Eventually it'll catch up with you, and you just, man, once you do clear your mind up, you start thinking
mm-hmm.
man, that was wrong. What I did with so and so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right about that. So, okay, so you came home, but then you got out of treatment, went to IOP, then you had to slip, and then you got right back into it.
Yeah.
Got right back into recovery, and what happened after that?
Oh man, just boots to the ground, brother, and just I got real serious with this thing.
Put in the work.
We just put in the work, but took it one day at a time. One day at a time. Treat every day like I'm in my first 30.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. Every day. Still to this day, I do that.
Yeah.
Treat every day. So, sponsor, service, connection with the Lord, coping mechanism, coping things, doing things that makes me setting boundaries with people,
right.
But also even setting boundaries on myself.
Right. Definitely that.
And I'll be honest with you, that's something I just it just hit me the other day. Literally the other day.
Setting boundaries with yourself? Yeah, you gotta do that. Because if you can't trust yourself, how can you expect somebody else to trust you?
And don't even, and when I say setting boundaries yourself, it's not even about being around somebody or going to somebody's house that has alcohol or whatever. It's not even any boundaries can be set if you're trying to be abstinent from sex or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just being in the house with somebody else or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and knowing that you know yourself. Does that make sense? You know that, man, this ain't right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you try, because I've never been married, right?
Right.
So say that I'm wanting to wait for that special young lady. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And to hear myself talking now compared to back then, I'm like, who are you? Yeah. But I'm not. But I ain't. Don't. And a lot of people don't get it twisted. I'm not perfect. I'm far from that. Far from that, and I make mistakes all the time. We're human. We have fleshly desires, but then that's the whole point. I say that intimate relationship with the man upstairs. You got to have that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's the main reason. That's why I'm sober to this day, bro. Mm-hmm. For real. I'm dead serious.
That's really big. That's really big too, though. Being able to keep commitments to yourself. Being able to honor your own word, that discipline. If I say I'm gonna do something, then I do it, and I stick to it, and I follow through with it. And if I can't make the commitment, then I try to make up for it in some other type of way. But being able to do that, just being able to discipline yourself and being able to make those boundaries with yourself. Okay, I won't do this. Or I'm gonna start working out. For instance, we both were saying we were at the gym today. Mm-hmm. We told ourselves, we're gonna start working out, and we stuck to it.
Mm-hmm. So to be honest with you, you motivated me to go.
Oh man, I motivated you to go to the gym to now.
Bro, it's God is my witness right now. I'm telling you, I was kind of tired when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
Because I start a new job tomorrow as a case manager, intake at the new treatment center, and also just where I'm going to be doing my intern at. Right. And I was like, man, I got so much I got to do today. Plus, I got to pick up my guy today that I'm sponsoring.
Oh yeah.
And but I wanted to I hit the gym yesterday, but I wanted to get back because I kind of find myself if I haven't been to the gym, I start getting very agitated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You can feel it.
But I feel so relaxed right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, chill. That's why I'm able to like, you notice like when you asked me when we was at what's the name to do that interview, and you see how kind of like on the edge I was.
Yeah.
Compared to now.
Yeah.
Because I just got into my word this morning. This is literally after I got off the phone with you. Got in my word. You know, had that time with him. He said what he had to say to me.
Yeah.
I shared it with others. Well, some of it I shared with others. And I got a text. I got some brothers that we do Bible study with each other on every Tuesday as a commitment. Share what I shared with them. And then like, you know, when I heard you, you was like, yeah, man, did you? And I was like,
yeah,
so
man.
see, you'd be surprised how much inspiring you can be to people, man.
It's so true. It's so true, and it's like a chain because I watch YouTube a lot, right? So it's a coach. I'm a coach, you know. I do recovery coaching, but it's another coach that I watch on YouTube. He does
Who is that?
He does like life coaching. What's his name? Wes. I'll send you his name.
Okay.
It's Wes something. But he talks about getting in the gym. He's like, man, you gotta get in the gym, man. And he talks, and I'll be watching his videos. I'm like, you know what, man, that's who really got me on going to the gym, because I was like, man, how can I really coach somebody else and tell them be speaking all this discipline and this motivation when I look like a potato? You can't do it. It doesn't work like that. I gotta discipline myself. I gotta be on my best health and physically and mentally in order for me to be able to help other people. I can be in the right. I've been working a long time with my mental, trying to get my mental right, and I've done that. I feel like I'm in a good space mentally. But I was neglecting my body, and I was like, I got to the point to where I was like, my mind is on point now. Now I gotta get my body on point. That way I can be at 100%. You gotta be at 100% to be able to help people and serve the people that you work with. And I want to be the best version of myself so that I can give that to the people that I work with, so I can help them become the best version of themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I was able to motivate you this morning to go to the gym.
You did, brother. I mean, you said it good right there. Because because I'm a picture person, like, you know what I mean. I gotta like see the broader, and I look at like, you know, like spokes on a bicycle, right?
Right.
But say you only have, say you got the tire, the tire and the spokes, but there's only 3: mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
One of those spokes come off, what's gonna happen? That wheel ain't.
You gonna crash. You might crash into like a tree or something like that.
But you notice how it affects all of it? It affects all. So if one of them is off, it starts to affect the whole. It starts to, you know, like say you ever. Let me ask you this: Have you ever like sprained like one of your body parts or anything while working out? You ever sprained or broke anything or make something sore?
I want to say I want to knock on wood somewhere, but I've never actually broke a bone or sprained anything.
All right, well let me ask you this then: Have your spirit ever been off?
Yes.
So once your spirit was off, how did that affect your mind?
In the gutter.
How did that affect your body?
In the gutter.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything was.
It was just off.
Yeah, everything was off. Everything.
It was off.
Yeah.
So like when I do check-ins, sometimes I do it with my boy B, Brandon. I even do it with my children now. You know, I say, hey, how you doing? You know, how's your mind? How's your body? I think I've asked you that. Have I asked you that yet?
I think you did one time.
Yeah. I say, hey, how's your mind? How's your body? How's your spirit?
I was like, that's different. You know. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I was like, that's different. It's different.
And then, but
it makes you think.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. That's what I learned with tranquility too. And then the instructor, he would always tell me, he said, man, y'all got to give me more than just this one word answer. He said, elaborate.
It's so common. People are so used to just saying, how you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good.
I'm all right. You know, everything is good.
You know, daggone sure it ain't good.
They didn't even think about it. It was just an automatic response. I do that. I'm guilty of that too. But yeah, right,
but it's a good check-in. And then it helps you to address whatever's off. All right, let's go ahead and address this. Because remember, some of us who was in recovery, you don't even got to be in recovery. Like, we'll substitute what we're not good with something. And more than likely, it's not healthy for us.
Yeah.
I've had a teacher tell me this, man.
they read my book,
Mm-hmm.
and I would never thought I would inspire this person.
Your teacher?
Yeah.
Wow.
No. It wasn't one of my teachers. It was my counselor. I'm sorry. It was my counselor. And he had said this. And he had said, man, I could totally relate. I'm like, what? He said, yeah. He said, I actually have he said, I would cope with eating.
Yeah. Yep. Comes in all different shapes, forms, and fashions.
Yeah, so here it is. Like I said, everybody thinking it's a drug, it's alcohol. No. There's people out there that's not even in recovery, man. People are hurting, and you're not addressing. That's why I said, and that's why the whole mind, body, and spirit, man. It's good to just start checking in on people and just like, and I always say that to somebody too. And when after I ask them, I say, look, give me more than good.
Right.
I need you to elaborate.
Right.
And the next thing you know, you got I hate texting, so and then I got a person writing me a whole bibliography. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, yo, can you just call me?
they pointed out, you asked, like, hey, you asked.
No, true that. But yeah, so.
But it's definitely good to check in with people, because like you said, you never know where people are at,
yeah.
mentally, and especially like family and friends. If
Mm-hmm.
you haven't heard from them in a while, make sure you send them a text, give them a call.
Mm-hmm.
It was just National Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And I saw so many posts, I read so many things, and then you see on the news people, unfortunately, committing suicide and things like that. And then it talks about that in your book too. So
yeah,
it's good. You definitely got to check with the people you love, the people you care about.
That's why I joined we just had it too. I joined the Frederick County Suicide Coalition panel.
Yeah, I remember you said that. I remember. Where did I hear about that? Did you tell me? Or I think I heard about that somewhere. That they had that. I think I maybe seen it on Facebook or something.
Probably did. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of things here soon, and just more like, my dad being military. A lot of the vets, the PTSD, not addressing that, and just and then like the whole thing with firearms. So I'm on the subcommittee, outreach and education.
Yeah, definitely. They can definitely.
Yeah, so because my dad is not the only one who committed suicide. I've had two friends that I went to school with who committed suicide too.
Yeah, so it's impacting your life.
Yeah, one of them, he shot himself in the mouth up in his parents' house. And the other one, he did the one where he, with the carbon monoxide from the car
in the garage. Crazy, man. And a lot of times you never even.
Yeah, you would not. And to be honest with you, bro, I never thought of these two cats. Never.
You can see them the day before, and they be kicking like everything is.
It blew my mind with that. So, I tried to I went to Out of the Darkness. You ever heard of that? Out of the Darkness?
What's that?
It's a march. It's a suicide marathon walk.
It was in Frederick?
Yeah, they've had one in Salisbury. They had one in Frederick, but it wasn't like really, they were just like if you wanted to walk out by yourself. But the last one I went to was in Virginia Beach at Mount Trashmore. And I remember when she was like part of the government, the governor or some legislator. That was the last time, this was years ago, but she talked about her husband.
Wow.
They were all sitting down watching television as a family. And he went upstairs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, while everybody was on.
Wow.
So it's serious.
It is.
It's serious. And and you would never think when it's gonna hit your home.
Yeah, man.
So that's why, like I said, man, this industry, from being a social worker, from being a certified peer recovery support specialist, and then getting involved and connecting with you, and to help you with your mission and you helping me with mine. This is personal for me. This ain't just like something just because I'm trying to make money. I don't want nobody going through what I went through, man, or hurting. Because not everybody is mentally strong enough to deal with it,
alone.
Deal with it alone.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have had the support that I've had since even living out here, my family, my cousins, and just people, people praying for me, people listening, and there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, man. That's one of the things that I love about what I do, with recovery coaching and being a peer recovery specialist, because like I get to be the additional support that a person may have needed. Like, like some people don't have, like, even if you have, some people don't have family, some people are don't like to deal with friends like that. They don't have friends for whatever reasons, you know what I mean? And if they do have family people, they just don't talk to them like that. So just being a person that's gonna be there, that they can pick up the phone and call and talk to, that's not gonna talk down to them, that they can relate to,
Just listen.
and just listen and just, say, I want to do kind of like the same thing. This is what I did. I know somebody that went through that. This is what they did. Or not even, I don't have to say that. I could just sit there, like you said, just listen. And
that does more than what people just sit there.
yeah, I listen. They say I'm a great listener. I don't know. I listen pretty good, I guess. But I will sit there and listen. And I can tell, like, if a person if they don't need any feedback, I'll just listen. And they'd be like, you know what, I feel better. Thank you for sitting there listening. People always say, I'm sorry for dumping all that. I'm like,
it's all good.
It's all good.
It's
That's
all
you know what I
good.
mean. Like,
I mean, it's kind of like, and I say this a lot of times. It's like, you ever heard that term, pressure bust pipes?
Yeah.
So look at your body as a pipe, but the form of pressure within your body can be anger, resentment, hurt, loneliness, tired, no self-control. I mean, it can be so many, anxiety. It can be everything. All that is a form of steam within your body, is that your body being a pipe. What happens if you don't release it, you don't let it out? It's gonna pop, right? And so that's why that person said that to you. Thanks for listening, because they got it out.
Yep.
And that's what, like, me and you have probably, have done, is we kept whatever was bothering in us for so long. And it could have been just like, and it couldn't have been like, it probably was not even towards anybody. It just been what we was at. Because I had low self-esteem back growing up as a child.
Yeah, like you said.
Very low self-esteem. Like, I was, dark skinned, and I say it was a time and period when the light-skinned brothers was famous, and all the girls liked them, or I wasn't comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I just, I had it all. I had I felt low about myself. I didn't feel confident in myself. You know what I mean? I didn't have the latest sneakers, or,
And to that point, what you said, a lot of people explode, but then a lot of people also implode. And like the people who were mentioning that they won't explode, but they'll start to feel bad about themselves. They'll start to take things out on themselves.
Self-infliction.
Self-infliction. They'll start isolating. Just unhealthy habits, and it's just like they got so much. They want to bust because there's so much pressure inside of them, but they're not that type of person to explode and go run around cussing, yelling, and acting out. They might just
hurt themselves,
implode. It's just everything just collapse inside. And unfortunately, a lot of people do that too. And you'll never know. That's why.
No, you'll never know. You'll never know.
But man, Jamel, thanks for coming. I think that about wraps it up, man. You gave us a breakdown on your book, gave us a
Appreciate
breakdown
it, bro. Appreciate it.
On your life.
Feel like I did it way better than I did last time.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good, man.
I appreciate it. You did good as well.
Yeah, it was good. I had a good time today. It was very informative, and we got to give a little bit of background on your book for the people. The link will be in the description to purchase the book. How much is the book?
So you can get it hardback and you get it softback. It comes in different, but we'll provide the link. And Exulon Press, that's my publishing company. So we'll definitely provide you guys the link and everything. So.
All right, man. Well, that about wraps it up. I'm trying to think of a name for I was thinking of a name for my interview. It was
Which, this one?
No, not for this interview. For like all of them, like the name of a show. I was riding home last night. I think I came up with something like life after treatment or something like that. But some people recover without going to treatment. So I was like, I don't know if I could do that or not, whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna come up with
recovery.
All things recovery, or just recovery.
Recovery.
Somebody got that.
Somebody
already got that. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure somebody got that.
All right, so you can just say it, and I'll give you this one. Just keeping it real in recovery.
I like that.
Just keeping it real in recovery.
I like that. All right, man.
All right, boss.
Thanks again, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
it.
problem, brother. No
Yes,
problem.
sir.
No problem.